Welcome back to the Deep Dive. This week, we're looking at a franchise really at a crossroads. The 2025 Kansas City Chiefs. They finished 6-10.
A huge disappointment.
Absolutely. Completely out of the playoffs after that really tough Christmas night loss to Denver. For the Chiefs, the offseason, well, it started right then and there.
And that offseason rebuild, it really hinges on one massive $13 million question. And the player at the center of it all is veteran cornerback Kristian Fulton.
Right. So our mission today is to sort through all of this. Is Fulton a high-price mistake that they just need to move on from?
Or did that one incredible performance against the Broncos buy him another shot in the kingdom? It's a fascinating problem.
It really is, and it's complicated. The Chiefs signed him to a 2-year, $20 million deal. The idea was, he'd be a cornerstone next to Trent McDuffie.
A huge investment, but the 2025 season was, for all intents and purposes, a total washout because of injuries.
Just devastating for that defense.
And now you're looking at a potential $13 million cap charge for 2026 for a guy who, he barely saw the field.
Yeah.
This isn't just about one player.
Yeah.
It's a huge financial decision that's going to dictate their flexibility for years to come. They have to get this one right.
Okay, so let's get into the core of this. The Fulton dilemma. He came over from the Chargers with some pretty high hopes.
He did, but the injury timeline here is it's critical to understanding the whole picture. He started camp on the PUP list, the physically unable to perform list, recovering from knee surgery.
So he was already behind the 8 ball.
Way behind. And then he comes back, only to suffer an early ankle injury that just completely knocked his season off the rails.
So we're talking about a player active for only 7 games. He's got, 16 total tackles, just a career low in production across the board.
The narrative was set in stone. This was a high-priced miss, a failure.
And the front office was probably thinking the exact same thing.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure they were already planning the release, figuring out how much dead money they'd have to swallow. But then week 16 happened.
That Christmas night game against the Broncos.
It changes everything.
It was this sudden flash of the exact player they thought they were paying for. The Chiefs lost the game 2013, but Fulton was just incredible.
It was. 3 tackles, 3 passes defended. And that crucial deflection that led directly to the Nick Bolton interception. He was all over Courtland Sutton that night.
And it wasn't just the stats, right? If you watch the film, you see the physicality.
Exactly. The aggressiveness at the line of scrimmage is something they hadn't seen from anyone in that secondary all year long. And Coach Reed saw it too.
He did. We have the quote right here. Reed said, "I thought he played like he was healthy. That's what he is capable of doing."
And that single quote, that one performance, is what forces this entire conversation. It's why they can't just cut him without a second thought.
So that coaching validation is huge. It basically says the scouting was right. The problem was health, not talent.
Which leads to the next big question. What is that talent exactly? And why is it so important to this specific defense?
Let's dig into that, because his pedigree is, it's pretty impressive.
It's top tier. He was a second-round pick out of LSU, part of that insane national championship team. He's 6 feet tall, almost 200 pounds. He's built to be a physical press corner on the boundary.
And that's the key phrase, isn't it? Press corner. That's everything for Steve Spagnuolo's defense.
It is everything. Spags is, he's the blitz master. He wants to send pressure from everywhere. To do that, he has to trust that his corners can survive on an island in one-on-one coverage.
And Fulton was brought in to be that guy.
He was brought in to be the guy. When he's healthy and locking down one side of the field, it lets Spagnuolo get creative. It frees up Chris Jones. It's a whole cascading effect.
A domino effect.
Exactly. When Fulton is on his game, the whole defense works. When he's not there, Spagnuolo has to play more zone, the pass rush isn't as effective, and the whole thing it grinds to a halt.
And we saw the proof in that Denver game. The numbers are just staggering. He allowed a passer rating into his coverage of 48.6?
A 48.6.
Yeah.
To put that into perspective for you, if a quarterback just spiked the ball into the dirt on every play, their passer rating would be 39.6.
Wow.
So 48.6 is basically a complete shutdown performance. That is his ceiling, and it's an elite all-pro level ceiling.
But the reality in 2025 was that they almost never saw that ceiling. His abscess just created this revolving door in the secondary.
It did, and it exposed them big time. You look at the final numbers, the 2025 passing defense ranked near the bottom of the league. That's just not who the Chiefs are.
It's a total break from their identity. You think back to the defenses that won Super Bowls here, or even go back to the Derek Thomas days.
Right.
There is a pride in having a tough, physical defense at Arrowhead. That stadium got its decibel record because of defenses that terrorized quarterbacks. This 2025 secondary was a weak link.
It was. And that pressure falls squarely on the GM, Brett Veach, to fix it. But his desire to fix it runs right into that massive financial wall we talked about.
The $13 million elephant in the room. His cap hit goes from about $7 million this past year to $13 million in 2026.
That $13 million is an albatross, especially with the cap crunch that everyone knows is coming. They are projected to be way over the budget as it is. Every dollar counts.
So, okay, let's talk options. If they just decide to cut him, say, before June 1st, what does that actually save them?
The immediate savings are about $5 million, which, isn't nothing. But, and this is the painful part, it creates $8 million in dead money.
And we should probably slow down and explain what dead money actually is for everyone listening.
Yeah, good call. So that $8 million is basically money the team has already paid him, like a signing bonus, that they still have to account for on their salary cap, even if he's playing for another team.
So it's just wasted space on the books.
It's $8 million of cap space that you can't use on anyone else. Now, the sources say it's not ideal, but doable. But it's a bitter pill to swallow.
And it gets even more complicated because they're already losing other guys in the secondary, right? Joshua Williams, Jalen Watson, they're free agents.
Right, so if you cut Fulton, you're not just creating one hole, you're creating multiple holes in a unit that was already struggling. It basically forces you to spend a high draft pick on a corner.
So you have this perfect storm, the price tag, the injury history, the defensive need, and then that one game that scrambles the whole picture.
And you can hear the different voices pulling the organization in different directions.
You hear from Brett Veach, the GM, and he's still selling the upside. He's talking about that Broncos game, showing the guy we envisioned. He's invested.
And then you have Chris Jones, the leader of that defense. He says Fulton has that dog in him, and the team needs that fire. I mean, that's a huge endorsement from your best defensive player.
But then there's the fan perspective, which is a lot more skeptical.
Understandably so. They're looking at $13 million for 7 games and saying, no way. They want the team to be ruthless, cut their losses, and find the next young star in the draft.
And that's why that Denver game is being called plan altering. Before that, cutting him felt like a foregone conclusion. Now there are really 2 main paths.
Path 1 is the clean break. You release him, you take the $5 million in savings, eat the dead money, and you pivot to the draft.
Simple but painful.
And then there's option 2, which is gaining a lot more steam now, keeping him on a restructured deal.
Okay, so how does a restructure actually work? It's more than just asking him to take a pay cut.
Oh yeah, it's financial gymnastics.
Yeah.
They could take a big chunk of his 2026 salary, convert it into a signing bonus, and then spread that bonus money out over several void years tacked onto the end of the deal.
So they're essentially kicking the can down the road. They pay him the same amount of money, but they account for it on the cap over, say, 5 years instead of just 1.
Exactly. It's an accounting. It could drop his immediate 2026 cap hit from $13 million down to maybe 6 or 7. That gives you breathing room right now.
And it lets you keep the player,